Back at the Villages. First time they've hosted a national tour stop. They've had the seniors here 2 or 3 times, back in 91, 98, and this year, of course.
Right, and they had a great tournament here. Roger Workman won that senior event, I believe, and it was a great win for him. Pete Weber's currently 9 pins down, and he is looking away. He does not want to see what Mike-Aulby does right here. And if he strikes, and which he does, that puts Pete in marginal trouble. So Pete has not gotten a freebie here today with Mike-Aulby, and Mike-Aulby's going to see to it that it is not given to him.
That's part of that intimidation. He's not looking at Aulby right there on your screen. He's not looking at the lanes. He is looking 90 degrees to the right, away from everything.
I believe that's more mental preparation because he doesn't want to know what goes on. In case Mike-Aulby throws a bad shot and goes Brooklyn or trips a 6 or something like that, sometimes that plays on the competitor's mind, and you'll get up and throw a bad shot right after it. So I think that he's probably doing the right thing right now, the flow that he's in.
Catch a roll, catch a roll.
There are rumors, and it's ironic because he won in Daly City as Weber's looking away, that Mike-Aulby is thinking about retirement. Any truth to that?
Mike has acquired a bowling center a few years ago, and he took on a partner, Scott Devers, who is running the facility for him right now. The rumors are unfounded. Mike says he wants to be out here. He loves the game. He loves the action, and the thrill of winning a tournament is still in his blood. So I suspect he's going to be here for a long time.
It's a 32-lane bowling center back in Lafayette, Indiana, called Mike-Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl.
All right, Pete's back up on the right lane, and he is looking to capitalize on his 15-pin lead that he has right now. I'm going to say that he's going to want this one pretty bad, and if he strikes, you're going to see some emotion. Well, we've been on this ride today several times. Another solid 9. He tilts that axis so hard that the ball rolls heavy down the lane, catches the dry boards at the end of the lane, and then rolls up into the pocket too high flush, if you can imagine that, leaving a solid 9. So routine spare, he should cover it with no problem. You can see right there just how high in the pocket the ball was. It was almost to the 4-6 point.
I don't know what that was. A bad imitation of the Dirty Chicken Dance, I guess.
Pete is...
The new Sport Bowling League program created by the American Bowling Congress and the Women's International Bowling Congress being offered to bowlers who wish to compete on the most challenging of lane conditions. The PBA, an active participant with the ABC in promoting this program. Look for sports leagues at a bowling center near you.
Pete is a huge wrestling fan, and I wouldn't be surprised at all when he really gets it going. He's going to do these, whatever the moves are that those guys do. He really loves that stuff. There he is. Great shot, and he says, well, that one struck. Why didn't the last one strike? The only difference is that ball might have been a ½ inch to the right of where the last ball was on the right lane in the pocket. Sent the 6 into the 10, perfect strike. 10 pins in the back of the deck.
If he strikes out, Mike's score, 244.
Mike says, no time to be thinking negative right here. I need a great shot.
Shag. Yeah!
That's what he was looking for right there. He is a true champion with an outstanding mental game. So you don't ever cut him short in that department right there.
The outdoor conditions affecting Mike's speed choice at all?
He said the lanes were a little tighter today to the left of target, and they wasn't quite that tight meaning oily to the right of where he projects the ball. This week inside under controlled climate. This week, he said, today especially, there's a little bit more oil to the left, so he has to back down on the speed to get the ball to turn the corner to get into that deep spot of the pocket. And so that's what he's really thinking about right now.
Whoa.
That ball right there was clearly inside a target. He cut it off a little bit. He may have stuck a little bit at the foul line, but you can tell at the bottom of the swing, he cuffed it. His thumb went down on the shot, which steers the ball to the right of the intended target. So he's not very happy with that shot right there at all.
And you saw who snuck a little peek.
Well, anytime that I know that I've got any kind of lead at all on Mike-Aulby, I'm a happy camper.
Just before he stood up, Pete just shook his head a little frustrated.
Pete's up in the ninth right here. Desperately wants another strike. Pete can strike out for 239. The best Mike-Aulby can do is 224. So this is, well, I'm going to tell you exactly, this is not, this is a key shot right here. If he gets this one right here, he's going to really put the hammer down on Mike to set himself up for the 10th frame. And the first ball in the 10th frame will put the match over. Well, you know what? There's going to come a time when we all get frustrated, as this man is right here with that. These are all excellent bowling shots. It's just that his role is a byproduct of that tap right there, which not very many people leave on a consistent basis. I've seen Pete leave 5 or 6 of them in one game alone.
Scale of 1 to 10, what do you give Pete Weber's bowling work ethic?
Pete told me that in December, he and his dad started practicing 2 hours a day. And that's something really rare for Pete. He generally doesn't practice a lot, and his game's always been managed well. Well, he said that, you know, it's time to get back on it and put some time in. He spent 2 hours every single day working on his game before the tour started. And I'll tell you what, it showed up here, especially at this end of the season here, really well.
That was 9-pin number 5 for Pete Weber.
And that is a frustrating, that would be like a right-hander, let's say, for example, myself, leaving solid 8s. I don't throw as much ball as Pete does, and so I come into the pocket and leave a solid 8. That many of them would be really frustrating. This is clearly Pete's worst shot of the day. Now, whether the solid 9 has taken his mind away from execution, it is showing up right here. Now he's left the 5-count washout. Now, he can't let himself get too awry here. He's going to have to barely slide the ball on the left-hand side of the 1-pin. He's going the other way, and he made it! Great shot by Mr. Weber. There's 2 ways you can make that spare. You can shoot it on the left-hand side of the 1-pin, the 1 into the 6, into the 10, or you can go right in between, deflect the ball off the 1 into the 6-10, and make it, as he threw it absolutely perfectly right there.
22 years a touring pro. 1 win, as we pointed out, away from tying his famous father, and a little frustrated with that effort there. He finishes up with 204. He needs to mark right here. Mike does.
Yes, a mark, meaning he needs just to convert any kind of spare and just stay out of trouble. No gutter balls, no big splits, no nothing.
Flush up. Yeah, in this game.
Game over.
Go.
Mike-Aulby is your winner.
Well, we started with 111. The Village's Sun Bowl by the numbers. We are down to just 3. Mike-Aulby will advance. Next up, it'll be Chris Barnes.
All he's got to do is stay behind the foul line now. That's really important, which I don't think will be a problem for Mike. The best he can bowl is 224. If he converts the spare, it'll be 214 games. Solid performance. Mike, I'm sure, is extremely happy with getting out of this game alive.
Sellout crowd. We're outside at the Villages, and this man, Pete Weber, well, we talked about his suspension for 10 months. Well, you can hear about that and much more in his own words. Meanwhile, the town square, the